Hey folks, it's Ardwulf. Welcome. We're going to try something new today. Not new, that's the whole point. We are going to revisit an old favorite, Elite Dangerous. This is something that I haven't played with any degree of seriousness for ages, and it was being given away for free on the Epic Games Store not too long ago. That's not a platform I particularly like, but, you know, it is what it is, and free's free. So, I have a second account. This is a brand new, fresh account. I just got it started. I will warn you that should you acquire Elite Dangerous through the Epic Store, you must launch it through the Epic Store launcher. It does not work, at least I couldn't get it to work otherwise. You also have to create a new account with Frontier if you already have an Elite Dangerous account, or you can just create your original account. I can run it. It's probably the best idea is probably to buy it through Steam and then set it up, run it, and then just download the client on your own, unless you're going to have multiple accounts, in which case this is a rather kludgy way for me to do it. My existing account is not like incredibly well established or anything like that, but I have done some relatively serious exploration on it. Now, it's also my opinion that in order to get to me, Elite Dangerous is a really immersive game, and to get the most out of it, I really want to control the ship with a HOTAS, or hands-on throttle and stick. You can't see them, right? You kind of can, actually. What I have here set up is the Thrustmaster T-Flight HOTAS. It is the best HOTAS for the money. It's anywhere, depending on where you buy it, whether it's on sale or not, it runs somewhere between 50 and 75 bucks. It's all plastic, but it's very rugged plastic. There are two drawbacks with it. One is that it's one USB port, and then the two are connected with a USB cable. You can physically separate them, but the cable's not that long, so there's like just enough room for me to put the keyboard in the middle, the throttle on the left, and the stick on the right. A more expensive HOTAS rig will probably not have that drawback. And of course, a more expensive HOTAS rig will probably not have the other drawback either, which is not enough buttons. I really do feel the lack of buttons using this rig with Elite. So what I want to check, actually, is my controls. I want to see if it's inherited my controls from the other setup, and it looks like it has. Yeah, it has. It will recognize this particular joystick, or really any other common HOTAS rig. The other one that I have is the Cytec X56, which is a really expensive. I mean, it's not the top of the line, because it's all plastic too, and it's way less rugged than this Thrustmaster T-Flight, but it's about 250 bucks. But it does have the virtue of having as many switches, buttons, hats, anything you want on it, paddles, any dials, literally everything is on that thing, and it's really nice. But because it's so light, it tends to move around on the desktop, unless you screw it down, which I do not have the space to do right now. So, let us get started with that almost 3 minutes of preamble, and I'll address any control issues as I get the chance. Now, I haven't made a character or anything like that. It wants to send me through the tutorial first. So let's do that first. And we're going to load into the venerable sidewinder here. This is the standard Elite Dangerous starter ship. It is not that bad, actually. You can get by for quite a long time with this ship if you want to. Or if you just don't want to lose it.
Welcome to Mawson Dock. Make yourself comfortable while we finish some preliminary ship checks. My name's Theo Acosta, and I'll be running your Pilots Federation evaluation. Most pilots assigned to me earn their license.
So this all seems to work.
So as long as you follow my instructions, you'll be a commander in no time. Oh, and before you ask, I may sound like an Imperial,
apparently the Imperials, who are dicks, sound British.
Today we'll be covering the basics of flight control, combat, and frameshift drive use.
I'm going to do as little of these tutorials as possible, by the way.
Control at certain points. Mostly you'll follow a series of objectives to guide your actions. These are shown in the info panel at the top right of the head-up display. Okay, you're good to go. Select auto launch from the options ahead of you when you're ready.
So I think the automatic docking computer is standard now.
The beauty of auto launch is that you can relax and enjoy the view. One of the ways that technology allows us to appreciate the
Personally, I like landing. So, and taking
Other
off, so
applicants are departing for their own evaluations.
I would
But this
probably
isn't a
not
race.
choose to use
Each
this
of the
if I
coming
could avoid
stages
it.
can
There's a
be
whole
completed
tutorial
at your
on
own pace.
docking. And I'm reasonably sure we're in an instance here and not in the open world. We'll talk about that when we get to it. Waiting in queue. Alright. Patience is rewarded. But this is one of the reasons why I think Elite is really immersive, too. So, exit on the green side and enter on the green side. Don't exit or enter on the red side. Well, that's cool looking.
Remarkable, isn't it? For so long, humanity gazed up at the stars in wonder. We're not distracted by one of Earth's many wars. And
There's a
now,
joystick that I can use for
we glide
head look
between
on
them
the
without a second
X-56,
thought.
which I might end up moving back to. Well, we'll see. Not today. All right.
Here we are. Your first task is to demonstrate basic ship movements. The ship's trajectory is primarily controlled by pitch, yaw, and roll. Perform each of these now.
Okay. So pitch is point up, point down. Roll is roll right and left. And yaw is, on this particular stick, it's a
Good.
twist.
Now increase your throttle to accelerate forwards.
You can control all this with the keyboard and mouse.
Decrease the throttle to resume a stationary position.
And some people probably prefer
Your
that.
throttle can also
It's
be pulled
probably
back
more
from zero to
precise,
engage reverse
at least for
thrust.
some people. But it really subtracts from immersion, in my opinion. And I would never want to play this game without without at least a joystick. All right, S to increase reverse thrust, which I use the throttle for.
As before, push the throttle in the opposite direction to cease moving. Inputs confirmed.
Now you can see my throttle
Looks like you've got
on
the hang of individual controls. Let's see
in
if
the
you can
middle
put them all
on the
together.
right.
Your next task is to guide your ship through a series of checkpoints. Head towards the course, following the target indicator. The course weaves through an orbital structure and is designed
You
for
also
the
see that on the
non-pilot.
throttle indicator there's this sort of colored band, and what that is that is your zone of maximum controllability, or maximum responsiveness. So it's gonna be very easy for me to respond here, but if I throttle all the way up,
Accelerate through the first checkpoint
you'll
when
notice
you're ready to start.
it's more sluggish.
Fly through the center of the first checkpoint. You'll notice that they change color as you fly through them.
Oh, that's nice.
And we're off. There's no time limit, so maintain a comfortable speed while you familiarize yourself with the controls.
By comfortable speed, I hope he means a maximum speed, because that's what I'm doing this as. Not that I'm particularly good at this. Don't get me wrong.
Rolling and pitching together is the most efficient way of turning rapidly.
Up. It's me trying to be clever.
It's good practice to consider the angle and speed of your approach. See the blue marker beside the throttle gauge? This indicates the optimum turning speed.
There you go, optimum turning speed, that's what it's called. Notice we're at maximum acceleration still. Ah! This may or may not be the right one.
your throttle and take a moment to get your bearings.
I didn't know it was going to send me into a tunnel. We have crashed. Just turning speed. Turning speed can be too fast, too, and it can make it hard to handle. Not 100% sure that I'm even going through the right holes at this point. Probably not, considering that this target indicator is sending me up this way. Welcome, everybody, to the land of total incompetence. Good thing there's no time limit, Is that my target? Alright.
You're approaching a particularly sharp turn, so I advise slowing down to prevent any mishaps.
Ah, I see it. Now this speed, I will tell you, is pretty slow.
Your ship's boost function greatly increases your speed, but use it wisely. That's the last checkpoint. The sidewinder is an agile craft, and you handled it well. A new icon has appeared on the sensor display in the center of your dashboard. This represents a nearby beacon, which you'll soon scan as part of your evaluation. Target the beacon before we continue. You're going to use your ship's data link scanner to analyze the beacon, but you need to deploy hardpoints first. Good. Most external modules are installed on hardpoints, including weapons. Control is back with you. The beacon is relatively small, so you'll need to position yourself close to it. Watch your speed here. We intend to scan the object, not become one with it.
Yep, shot right past it. It's very easy to do that. This
You can
is
scan the beacon now.
often known as the loop of shame.
Well done. The data link scanner is a versatile tool that connects with network interfaces and various data points. You need to move to another area of this star system to continue your assessment, pilot. Rather than travel for the next year using your thrusters, you can employ the ship's frameshift drive to increase your speed by a few orders of magnitude. First, ensure that the ship is correctly secured. Your landing gear, cargo scoop, and hardpoints must all be retracted.
On the
when you're
throttle,
ready, throttle up and engage supercruise.
To deploy hardpoints.
Frameshift drive
and
charging.
to engage frame or to toggle frameshift drive actually, which I find to be the easiest way to make it work.
1. Engage.
All right, so I suck at the combat, just so you know, but
All readouts
Elite
look
Dangerous
good.
is a game in
You're
which you
now
don't really have to do
accelerating towards a
combat
velocity
if you don't want to.
comparative to the speed of light, measured in C. Supercruise is used to navigate within a star system, allowing you to cover significant distances in minutes. Usually you'll retain control in Supercruise, but on this occasion your ship's computer is following a preset path. This is a good time to familiarize yourself with a couple of the cockpit panels available to you. In the top left of your HUD is the comms panel, which displays pilot communications and contacts across several channels.
That's that thing. Without a
Top
commander
right
means that I haven't
info
signed in
panel.
yet.
Entries here mostly relate to
To
your
an
ship's
actual
status,
character.
computer messages, and events happening around you. Ah, there we go. Welcome to Lightspeed.
Can't zoom in on this panel up in the upper right. And I have no control here, right, whatsoever. Nor does throttle control actually do anything, Norm. Well, in Super Cruise it does. But when you're going from system to system, throttle is
These
irrelevant.
are used to help you accurately disengage
That said,
your
we'll get to
destination.
what I tend to do when zooming, when warping into a new system.
Your next
when we
lesson
do
will
that.
introduce the basics of combat. Several static and mobile targets will be provided around a decommissioned megaship.
Megaship. Ooh, cool.
We'll also cover some situational information about weaponry and target tracking. And yes, you'll get to shoot those weapons you saw earlier.
Okay, and a very scenic game as well. I always felt that EVE Online was a very pretty space game, but
Astronomical bodies have a gravitational effect on the FSD, reducing your
I
ship's
think Elite
speed.
Dangerous surpasses
The
it.
closer the body, the greater the effect.
I didn't see a way to skip this tutorial, actually. So hopefully it won't take too long. Oh, we did it. We did it on its own. Okay,
The frameship drive is disengaged. Welcome to the combat zone.
so here is the
Before you start
megaship.
shooting, however, try analyzing the megaship with a data link scanner.
Not sure if I'm close enough, but it is a big-ass ship, too, so...
Well done. It's often worth scanning objects you're unfamiliar with to learn more about them. Next, you need to activate your weapons by cycling to a different fire group. You'll notice that your weapons are now listed on your HUD. Fire groups
Okay.
allow you to manage your hardpoints efficiently. Let's begin the combat evaluation. Destroy several of the canisters.
These are gimbaled weapons, you can see.
Your ship has 2 weapons installed. Make sure you use both your primary and secondary triggers.
It does.
Thrusters are particularly useful for navigating around large structures. Why not give them a try?
Alright, so I have...
Your cannon will automatically reload until the ammunition supply runs out. Meanwhile, your laser will fire until the capacitor is depleted, at which point it will need to recharge.
I have...
Quota achieved. Let's dial up the challenge a notch, shall we?
Let's see here.
An unmanned craft has arrived nearby. These drones are used by the Pilots Federation as target practice, and they're quite harmless. To continue, bring the craft into your sights and open fire.
we will talk at a later point about turrets versus gimbal versus fixing up. It's not shooting back, so there's no real reason for me to... I rather like that multi-cannon.
Nice work. You may have noticed that multi-cannons are effective against unshielded targets. Another craft has arrived. This one is fitted with a shield generator. Helpfully, your burst laser is a thermal weapon, which excels at stripping away a target's shields.
Where's this stupid thing? There it is. Now you can see the target. I got to vaguely point my ship toward the thing. You can see that the target is shown to the right of the radar, to the left of the radar. I'm not very impressed.
Into the area. This time your opponent will fight back, but its damage capability has been greatly reduced. Your target will not react until it registers shield damage. Engage when ready. That was the last target. Even if you're planning on a peaceful career, understanding the basics of combat is vital for a pilot's long-term survival. For advanced combat information, you should refer to the pilot's handbook, which we'll cover in more detail soon.
Wait, there's a manual?
The next step of your evaluation involves a hyperspace jump to a neighboring star system. On this occasion, your ship's computer has selected your destination for you. We'll cover selecting destination.
Mass locked? I am mass locked.
The mass lock indicator on the bottom right of the dashboard is active. This means a large object is in close proximity, preventing you from engaging the FSD.
Alright, it took control back.
To resolve this, throttle up to move a safe distance away from the megaship.
I guess we have to just wait for the prompt.
Remember, you can boost to temporarily increase your ship's speed.
I will often do this to get out of mass lock.
The mass lock indicator has gone out. When you are ready to travel light years in seconds, engage the FSD.
Frameshift drive charging.
Can't do that with hardpoints out. Even though you can then deploy hardpoints in Super Cruise.
Ready to engage. 3, 2, 1.
I wasn't throttled all the way up. In order to actually initiate it at last, you need to be at full throttle. Alright, so what I'll normally do here, I don't know what it's going to make me do. Throttle disabled. I'll normally point myself somewhere around
Technology
this,
has made the
so
task
that the
completely
star
between
is in
star
the upper
systems
section
too
of the
trivial.
screen.
Never
What
let
this
the
does
simplicity distract from the marvel humanity has achieved.
is it lets me fuel scoop,
Your next stop is Quello
if that's
Station.
important.
This
Sometimes it
time we'll
isn't.
employ the Supercruise Assist module to guide your approach. Open the external interface panel to your left and select the Navigation tab.
Okay.
Highlight the starport in the location list, and then select Supercruise Assist. It's the second option.
Highlight Colho Station. Okay, so lock, Supercruise Assist, system map. I'm not really clear
If
what
you're
Supercruise
lost,
Assist does.
exit
Like I
the
said, it's been a
external
while.
panel and start over. You can take your time to... Never mind. You've got it. With the destination selected, throttle up and aim towards your target. The compass to the left of the sensor display will help you orient yourself. Good. Your ship is now bound for Quello Station.
Now, I will be in... When you drop into a new system, you are in Supercruise, which is like a in-system, but still faster than light
Let's take a moment to review the interface panels either
means
side of your chair.
of travel.
The external panel is primarily used to interact with the galaxy around you. For example, you can access maps, display contracts, and review nearby objects.
That's this thing.
Meanwhile, the internal panel displays information about you and your ship. You can adjust module functions, check your records, and access the codex, among other
That's this
things.
thing. Let's see, we're a code. Now, it's throttled me down to what looks like about 50%.
New pilots often wonder what their first step into the galaxy should be. The pilot's handbook is a great source of help in this regard. It details a variety of professions and how
There is a
elevate
lot
your
to
ship
do
forward.
in Elite Dangerous, but
The handbook also
it
offers advice
is
on various ship
pretty
functions
much
that aren't
all
covered in this
self-directed.
evaluation.
You have to
Find the pilot's
want to
handbook
do
in
this
the
stuff.
codex, accessible on the home screen via the internal interface panel. The trails moving around you are FSD wakes. Your ship is also emitting one. The position of each correlates with their respective sensor display icons.
So those are, I can't point it out, but those
In a moment,
little
we'll be going
squares
through the docking process. This will cover docking permissions
in
and
the radar.
standard landing pad approach.
I feel like Supercruise Assist is slower than just doing this manually, actually. On the other hand, it is possible to end up in the loop of shame if you do it manually. And we're right in front of the
Quello
station.
This is the final stretch. You'll dock here shortly, but I'd like you to position your ship near the starport's access corridor first. Starports are the backbone of humanity's operations throughout inhabited space. They provide mission boards, the commodities market, a number of specialized contacts, and various ship facilities. Most pilot business is conducted via the Starport Services interface. I recommend familiarizing yourself with this screen when docked. Good. Ease off the throttle and hold position here. Oh, and try not to block the access corridor. We'll be using the docking computer for this landing. You can always dock manually in future, of course, but practice in a training simulation first. Whichever method you use, all ships must seek docking permission before approaching a landing pad. To request
It's
docking
always
permission,
true, even if the
open your
station is
external
on
interface
fire.
panel and select the Contacts tab. Then select Quello Station in the list, followed by Request Docking in the Information panel.
Docking permission authorized.
Okay, so apparently,
Docking assist has been engaged.
assuming you are
You've
within
been
range.
assigned landing pad 3. The compass will point towards your designated pad.
Oh, nice touch, by the way.
Ships
Watch
need to be
YouTube
within
flag me for this.
7.5 kilometers of a starport for a docking request to be considered.
This is the scene, of course, I always think of when I'm doing this. Now you'll notice there's a side of what this is called the mail slot for reasons that should be obvious. And you'll notice that there's green lights on one side and red lights on the other side. You want to enter the side with the green lights. And if you're exiting, you want to exit the side with the green lights. In a ship this small, it's not that big. It's very forgiving. In a large ship, I have a Type 7 on the other account. Oh, it's a pain to dock that thing. To get that thing in the mail slot, it's a huge hassle. I would totally buy a, if I were flying a large ship, particularly if I had the slot available, I would
The docking
absolutely
computer will now demonstrate a safe landing procedure.
get the docking computer.
Let's review what it's doing.
And I say that as somebody who enjoys the landing
Landing gears
process
must
manually.
be deployed. The related dashboard indicator lights up if this has been done.
Landing gear deployed.
Did it do it for me? Now, there's also a software tool
In a
called
moment, the sensor display
Voice
will switch to the
Attack, which
precision
I have a
approach
video on.
display,
Check that
which
out in the
helps you
channel
accurately
history.
set belly down on the landing pad.
Although I want to redo the video because the video itself is kind of garbage. So don't watch it. Wait for the new one. All right.
Procedure complete. Engaging pad restraints. Let's get your ship ready.
Congratulations, Commander. Your evaluation has been successful, and a license is being assigned to you as I speak. We just need to finalize your credentials. Enter the hangar to exit this evaluation.
Okay.
It's time to blaze your own trail across
That feels
the
different
galaxy.
too. I think
The
if you
manner
went to
in which
Starboard
you do
Services,
so
it would automatically
is
put
up
you in
to
the
you.
hangar before. At least that's how I remember it. It's been a while. This is very much, if you haven't got this, a space flight simulator. Commander name is permanent, and I came up with a commander name, and now I forgot what it is. I don't want to say Ardwulf because Ardwulf is the other account. So, and it's permanent and it cannot be changed. Body type. There's a body type. Interesting. Is body type just male and female? Apparently it is. Okay. Cautious. That sounds good. All right, and it's giving me okay, a choice of different sidewinder loadouts. That's fairly interesting. Let's choose the since I haven't really made decisions about what I'm going to do. Let's choose the all-rounder. That sounds good. Stock sidewinder. All right, hold on. Let's look at the other one. Sidewinder kitted out with surface operation with a 2-ton cargo hold. Vehicle bay equipped with an SRV and a planetary approach suite. Okay. I mean, it's not like you're kind of going to get out of this ship as soon as you can, for the most part. Like I said, it's not like the EVE Online starter frigates, which you absolutely want to get out of as soon as you possibly can. Okay. That is absolutely random. Okay. Now you'll be able to go into what's called Hollow Me, and which I'm not going to cover in this video, and customize yourself.
Welcome to your new ship, Commander. Your pilot's Federation license has been issued, and you're free to traverse the galaxy as an independent pilot.
Although I'll show you what the default looks like.
Before launching for the first time, allow me to quickly introduce the basic interface for mission contracts. Almost all pilots will use the mission board at some stage.
This is apparently my default guy.
Active missions are displayed in the Transactions tab of the external interface panel. This time you'll need to travel to Mawson Dock in the Dromi system. You can select these destinations on the navigation screen of the external interface panel. If you'd like to practice your journey first, I recommend the training simulations accessed via the internal interface panel. To review what we've discussed, select your comms panel and scroll through the recorded text. I'll contact you at Mawson Dock if you decide
And you
to
get
complete
10,000
this mission.
credits, which is not much.
If you choose to take a different path, then I wish you luck, Commander.
And is it in a different system? I assume it is. It is, in fact, in a different system, which is okay. All right, so we've got a video down. So we've been at this about 35 minutes. So what we have seen here, revisiting Elite Dangerous in 2021, is that if you get a new account now, you are put through a short and not terribly boring tutorial about how to operate the ship, how to shoot stuff, that kind of stuff. It did by no means did it cover everything. So we are going to go in and take a look around and evaluate what we want to do first, but that will be in the next video. So in the meantime, I would like to thank you for watching, and until next time, happy gaming.